Kunka kunka. I can smell Gigguk is almost ready to drop his summer 2025 anime what to watch video very soon. But hey, first things, we gotta check out Sleepy Clip's clip about Gigguk's opinion about Lord of the Mysteries. Yeah, let's check it out.
The other one I watched, I don't know if it's on here. I don't think it is on here. So I watched the first few episodes of Lord of
Yeah, it's not on like the main anime list like panel. It's like categorized differently.
Mysteries.
I think that's racist. I
don't know what the general reaction to Lord of Mysteries is because I'm coming into this completely blind. Don't know anything about it.
That's good.
It's got some of the best production.
I would say a person going into this completely blind without people constantly telling them how sweaty and how smart of a show it is better. I wanna do like a scientific study. One group of people that has been plagued with this stereotype that this is too hard of a show to understand, and another control group where they don't know anything, and see how they view the series. Because I really believe that right now, people are making this show to be more than what it actually is, to understand this at a surface level. Again, we're talking about the floor and the ceiling. The ceiling is insane fucking theory crafting of the Antigonus family, Zeratul, Secret Order, what the hell is Klein, Grey Fox stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the floor. The average person coming in and saying, oh, okay, transmigrated here. We want to go back home. You know, oh, tarot cards, beyond their powers, right? I would really love to see like how they would behave differently.
Values you can find in the season. Holy shit, the production of that is, considering how stacked the season is, it is up
money
there as like one of the best in terms of like production values. I don't know
how to like compare BCMA Studios production values with the traditional anime still. Because it looks just so different, you know? Like China is adept at using 3D tech, and they actually love 3D animation more than 2D apparently, compared to international where we just despise CG. I think the way that they use 3D tech to show the overlaps of like the entire town of St. Tingen or like the Lowen Kingdom, it's beautiful, man. Or even like the underground like black market, the way that they kind of showed us like an elevator perspective, the camera shots panning up and down to show the entire like the map. Their ability to show the background assets is beautiful using 3D.
If this is just an adaptation thing, but watching the first 2 episodes, maybe it's my goo goo gaga baby brain, but goddamn, I need to lock in to like try to understand everything that is going on.
Yes, and again, it's a combination of the fact that you're not supposed to know the mysteries yet, and the pacing issue that Tencent forced down upon BCMA Studios to cover 70-something chapters in the first 3 episodes, which I still don't think was a good idea.
It throws so much information at you that it is...
Gigguk is just mad that he doesn't have to, he can't do 2x speed watching anymore. Because this already is 2x speed watching base speed.
Kind of overwhelming at times. There are times when I didn't have enough time to figure out what was going on before they introduced a new mechanic to this world. A new thing that this world is about. And holy shit, I don't know if it was like that in the novels, but it felt incredibly fast-paced, to the fact that I don't normally need to do this, but I needed to rewind certain segments just to see if I missed anything, man.
Holy shit. Bro paused. Bro rewinded. I can't believe he would do that, bro.
Can't double speed.
Remember, if you have to rewind or pause, it's not reaction worthy. That's not my words. These are the words of the giants in this reaction space, man.
For this one, nah. I needed to...
I know, some people have a space bar. Isn't that crazy? Like some people, like right now, I can't believe I'm pausing. Like, that's crazy, right?
I need half speed for this one. Give me half speed for Lord of Mysteries, man. I really am intrigued
half speed is crazy.
By the mechanics of the world. That's the one thing that does intrigue me. It really feels like the world is fully alive. And there are so many little aspects and so many little details of the world and the mechanics.
And now, again, the more you watch, the more you realize, bro, who's controlling things from the shadows? Episode 7 has maybe just go completely schizo. I don't trust anything anymore. Any little fringe micro interaction could be the result of another force trying to like change destiny. It's scary. It's on, and maybe again, that's why shows that like Attack on Titan, for example, the first time you watch Attack on Titan, fundamentally different experience compared to maybe the second after you've watched more seasons, right? No spoilers, but like things are in front of you. It's literally in front of you, but you don't know. You don't know why they're behaving like that. You watch it again with extra context, you're like, holy shit, they're scheming in front of us. They're literally scheming right in front of us.
Mechanics of the Beyonders and stuff like that. It was like, to me, this is the type of shit that I eat up because it feels like a franchise and it feels like a world where you can just lose yourself in just like hours and hours of like lore dumps and like figuring out all the mechanics and everything like that.
This is akin to ReZero and Mushoku Tensei and how much I love to dive deep into the world. All these different, you know, continents, kingdoms, churches, religions, faiths, right? Different groups, factions, secret groups, right? Gods worshippings, you know, stuff like that. And like, it's so rich. The history, the culture, the more that you watch, the more you get. I think the perfect story, right? Not a perfect story, but a good sign of a good story is like an onion, bro. The more that you peel back on the onion layers, the better it gets. It's just like, it blows your mind. The more that you watch, the more enriched you are into the experience, rather than things feeling static, things feeling like unimportant. So how many isekai shows do we watch on a fucking daily basis? Not a monthly, not a weekly, not a seasonal, but every fucking other day we watch like an isekai, and most of them, there is this lack of world building. There's this lack of like, when I watch it, do these like buildings and different people and these, you know, different like cities and whatever, do they matter? Do these background characters matter? When I watch Lord of the Mysteries, they do matter.
But if I had to have a criticism, the way it was presented in the adaptation was just, instead of letting you kind of figure things out at your own pace, kind of letting you figure things out naturally, it felt like it just threw a whole ton of shit at you at once.
Yeah, it's fair. Again, event-based structuring, I think they fucked up with that. They basically threw you off of a helicopter with and then they told you as you're falling, by the way, you have a parachute.
And we're just like, this is it. This is everything. This is everything, guys. It's gonna make sense. Hopefully, I'm hoping that it's going to make sense. I'm hoping it is. I don't know if this is a method of storytelling that is popular in China, at least, because it kind of reminded me a lot of
Episode 7, Episode 6, Episode 4 has shown to me, right, that they can do storytelling in a way that is digestible. The first 3 episodes, though, it's kind of cooked.
Of the Hoyoverse method of storytelling sometimes, when it's just like you go into a new world or a new area and there are just so many different titles, so many different names and mechanics and stuff, and you're just like, go, wait, slow down.
Yeah, I felt like that in Wuthering Waves version 1.0 in the beginning of the launch. I know they changed it a lot too, but what I've noticed is that Chinese storytelling, there is a specific flavor of it where they do stuff like this. I don't think it's even like, I think it's straight up a stereotype, right? I think that it is way more, people tell me that like this happens a lot in cultivation manhwa stories where it's just like very dense in all these different jargon and different things that they just fucking throw at you rather than you slowly get introduced.
What the fuck? Who the fuck are these people? Who the hell are those people? Who is that? And as you read things and as you get enveloped into the world, everything starts to make sense and everything kind of like clicks together. But that first bit when you come into a new world and you kind of like get introduced to everything, it can be really overwhelming. Yes. And that's what Lord of Mysteries reminded me of a little.
I think ReZero did an amazing job in season 1 in exploring, in introducing us to the world. Same with Mushoku Tensei, right? ReZero episode 1 was like a 1-hour episode. We just dropped in, we're just kind of stumbling around and slowly experiencing the world. I love that. And later on, it gets more and more developed and more fleshed out. It's amazing, right? Here, it's just like, and we're like, oh!
Bits. But animation is beautiful. The production values are great. And like I said, I'm very intrigued in this world.
Here's a hot take. I honestly don't care about the animation. Maybe, and maybe that's a problem for me, right? I think that beautiful animation is a positive, but I genuinely don't give a fuck about how good the animation looks. It is such an afterthought for me. And I'm not trying to be different. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm beyond you people. I only care about deep story. But genuinely, like, when I watch a story, like, animation is absolutely important. When you have scuffed animation, it can absolutely lower the experience of something. Like Dress Up Darling, for example. Dress Up Darling, I would absolutely care if it was bad. True, I would. Dress Up Darling is a perfect example where, because of Cloverworks' understanding of direction and character acting, they're able to show so much movement and fluidity in moments where you don't need it at all. Classroom of the Elite needs to fucking take a note, take a lesson, right? That fucking studio, whatever studio's doing the next season, needs to fucking take some notes on how Cloverworks does slice of life interactions, man. I think that if the animation was bad, absolutely I would notice. But like once it reaches some threshold, to me, I kind of just like, it goes over my head and I'm more focused on like the stories, man.
The world building seems insane, and it seems like the kind of world that I can just lose myself in. I'm just hoping that everything begins to make more sense as I watch more episodes. Because yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Or you're gonna get more confused. Here's another amazing sign of storytelling, where the more you watch, the more you think you know, but actually no. One answer, 3 more questions show up. That's what happened in ReZero, right? Where it's like, holy shit, we're finally getting some answers. We're finally getting some revelations of this world and the mysteries. Well, actually, with that one answer, you're now gonna have 5 other questions that you're gonna be pondering about, and you will even like question if your answer is even true. I love that shit though. I love it.
I was a little bit lost in the first 2 episodes. Like a little bit lost. Caught on to a lot of things, but definitely had a lot of things where I was like, I don't know what's going on. I can have a guess, I think. I do feel like CN stuff tries to throw a bunch of cool stuff at you at the start and try to pull you in. The real bar of whether it's a keeper.
That is absolutely true. It is a fact. Event-based structuring, Tencent forcing BCMA studios to do that in order to captivate the normie audience who cannot appreciate slow burn shows. But at the cost of doing that, you have pissed off the slow burn enjoyer, the OG fandom, and you've pissed off the normies who are like, this is too fast. I don't know what's happening anymore. You basically lost both while trying to capture both.
Is usually a few chapters in once they kind of get their footing. Yeah, I mean there are some shows that I think throw you in the deep end, but they don't give you too much. I think the biggest example I can think of is Link Click. Link Click has its own mechanics with its time travel, and it's simple enough that they just throw you in the deep end.
Wonder when we're going to be watching Link Click, man. A lot of people praise that show too. Another Chinese show, right? To Be Hero X director, I think.
And they don't really explain too much of how the mechanics works. And it's only until like season 2 where they really explore the intricacies of that mechanic. But they give you a bit of time to be like, okay, this is how it works. We're introducing this one mechanic, and then that's it. And then we'll introduce more things a little bit later. So it's not like I think all of the shows they can do that. I definitely do feel a different vibe with Chinese characters, especially their protagonists. There's a scene in Lord of Mysteries where the main character gets summoned to this other world or something because it's an isekai.
The Great Fog.
And he randomly summons 2 strangers.
Yeah,
right? The best way to describe
Al-Jaradri.
it is he doesn't know what's going on. He is as confused as everyone out there, as the 2 other people that he summons.
Yet he remains fully confident and scams them.
And my guy just immediately starts aura farming.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
My fucking guy.
Could you imagine if that also has a reason for why he's doing that? Like, when we watch it first pass, we're not thinking much of it. I'm thinking Klein is simply a good scammer. This is part of his personality. That's who he was back in the world. Or is it due to the influence of other things? You know, that's why, again, you question everything now. Is it a coincidence? I don't know.
There's no like, oh, what's going on? I'm so confused. Where am I right now? Who are these people? Oh,
Here's another thing. Most isekai main characters are fucking pussy retards who've never worked a real job in their lives. They're unintelligent, ignorant losers, miserable fucking wretches, literal neats who are getting a second chance in a different world because that's exactly the type of audience that these shows pander towards to in Japan. Am I out of line for saying that? Sure. I'm not wrong though. These are absolute facts. Most isekai protags are fucking losers that's done nothing with their lives. And it's a story of growth and maybe even redemption as they have a second chance, and that escapism is so appealing to so many losers out there. It is what it is. Klein is not that. Klein is so intelligent. He is simply an office worker who has been worked to fucking death, and he is so desperate that he relies on some sort of luck enhancement ritual, and by doing that he gets transmigrated here, and his logical deduction, his ability to observe and analyze things, he's a very smart guy. Fundamentally different from Rudius or ReZero. from you know, Japanese animes.
What is going on? China? He's confused. What does he do? Aura farms, man. He just goes.
Like Subaru took like 3 separate tries to figure out that, oh, I'm repeating. That shit pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. By the second time, he should have been aware, but like 3rd times, he's like, oh my god. He finally had to say a slur to a fucking girl in the street to finally get his fucking face smacked in real. Anyways, Klein figured that shit out pretty quick.
Yes, and just as I planned, exactly according to Keikaku, he has no idea what's going on. I swear, like, the protagonists in Chinese series just
they're Giga Chads, man.
Adept to aura farming than a lot of the protagonists in
And you know what? Maybe that's a cultural difference. The average Japanese male versus the average Chinese male. I'm not saying one is superior than the other, but absolutely there is cultural influence in the way that authors write their main characters, right? This is not a monolith. This is not the same group of people writing the same stories.
That you see in manga or anime. Oh, man.
And that's pretty much it. I fucking lowered the mysteries, bro. At this rate, this is... Listen, up until episode 6... I was kind of hesitant. Episodes 4 and 5 was nice, but I was like, is this getting on that 9 out of 10 range? Can I compare it to Re:Zero Mushoku Tensei? It's getting pretty good now, man. And we still got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 6 episodes left. And like 2 bonus. Apparently, next episode, though, is going to be trash. Apparently, it is like one of the worst episodes that the author Cuttlefish has seen and said like, ugh, what the fuck is this? So like... We'll have to see, but right now, listen, the momentum, I hope that it carries through. I'm really, really enjoying the anime, or the donghua. Please check out Sleepy Clips. Link to the video. Here it is. There's not enough hype moments. To me, there is a lot of hype moments. But the hype moments aren't the traditional pop-off, like the hype moments in Kaiju 8. Kafka transforms and punches monster, big boom, wow. I just... don't really care about that anymore, you know? I can enjoy it, but the hype moments for me is, holy shit, it's a feather. It's an invisible feather, it's falling down. Oh my god. You know, the hype moments for me is like the realization and these like schizo micro interactions that most crayon eaters would never understand. They just see it and it goes over them, but because I'm so locked into the story, these are the hype moments. The hype moments are invisible to them, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, go check out Sleepy Clips. Go support their channel. Thank you again for the nicely digestible Gigguk clips. I'll see you next time.